now, analyze the abstract in humanities. Humanities journals are less likely to publish abstracts, but they are still a useful tool in thinking through your article and getting it through the peer review process. In the humanities, published abstracts often tend to omit information on methodology or findings. The order of information also tends to be looser than in social science abstracts. The basic ingredients of a solid abstract in the humanities can include the following: context, that is, information on the historical period, the geographic region, the social conditions surrounding the human creations being investigated. Subject, the literary or artistic works being discussed, their creators and dates. Claim for significance, announcement about the uniqueness of the subject or your approach to it. Theoretical framework, often more suggested than stated. The theory you are using to discuss the subject, such as feminist or psychoanalytic approaches. Argument, what your analysis of the subject reveal about the subject, current approaches to the subject or society. Proofs, your evidence for your argument about the subject or the elements of the subject that you analyze. Below is the version of a humanities abstract in the journal. This is its source. The first sentence is, once the film industry moved to Los Angeles from the East Coast in the 1910s, Hollywood became the source of the negative stereotyping of Latinos in mainstream American cinema. It's a context. The second sentence is, this article argues that the anti-Mexican American discourse in Southern California during the motion picture industry's formative years provided the impetus for those derogatory film images. This is the argument. The third sentence is claim for significance. In doing so, the essay sensitizes two bodies of literature that really comment on one another. Early Hollywood studio history and works treating the Mexican-American experience in Southern California. The last sentence is about proofs. Three main Southern California social elements that shaped the anti-Mexican American discourse in films are discussed. A, the ostracizing of Mexican Americans to East Los Angeles at the same time that the movie companies were flocking to the opposite side tongue. B. The social, economic, and political climate that resulted in anti-Mexicano attitudes. And C. The view of Mexico as the playground for the United States. These are just a few examples of some good abstracts in the social sciences and the humanities. Many other forms of abstracts exist. And it's a good idea to study published abstracts to get a sense for how they work in your field. The abstract should never give any information or conclusion that is not stated in the paper. Literature must not be cited in the abstract. Likewise, normally, the abstract should not include or refer to tables and figures. We have analyzed the essential elements in the abstract. Now, let's focus on the types of the abstract. The first type of the abstract is called an informative abstract, which is designed to contain the paper. It can and should briefly state the problem, the method used to study the problem, and the principal data and conclusions. Often, the abstract supplants the need for reading the full paper. Without such abstracts, scientists would not be able to keep up in active areas of research. The second type of abstract is an indicative abstract, sometimes called a descriptive abstract. This type of abstract is designed to indicate the subject dealt with in the paper, much like a table of contents, making it easy for potential readers to decide whether to read the paper. However, because of the descriptive rather than substantive nature, it can seldom serve as a substitute for the full paper. Thus, indicative abstracts should not be used as heading abstracts in research papers, but they may be used in other types of publications, such as review papers, conference reports, and government reports. Such indicative abstracts are often of great value to reference librarians. Remember that your paper should be published, so the language of abstracts should be familiar to the potential readers. Obscure abbreviations and acronyms must be omitted. First, write the paper and then write the abstract, if at all possible. When writing the abstract, examine every word carefully. Economically and scientifically, it doesn't make sense to waste words. Of more importance to you, the use of clear, significant words will impress the editors and reviewers, not to mention readers. Whereas the use of abstruse, verbose constructions might well contribute to a check in the reject box on the review form. 最后，我用中文对该章内容再予以总结。摘要是文章的关键，因为很多期刊的编辑以及学者只读摘要，而不读全文。摘要应精准并尽可能详尽地总结你的研究工作，使读者对你做了什么，你为什么这样做，你发现了什么，以及你的发现为何有用，能一目了然。摘要的功能十分清晰，它可以帮助同行了解你所开展的工作、你的研究目的、研究发现以及研究结果的重要性和必要性。摘要必须独立成文，具备展现研究概要的功能，使读者无需看全文就能明白。在阅读摘要后，对文章感兴趣的读者自然会继续阅读全文的细节，但要注意，摘要不必太面面俱到，例如，可不必列举研究方法细节。尽管摘要是论文的第一部分，但事实上应放在最后部分撰写。在完成其他部分后，应尽快写摘要，因为这些内容依然清晰地留在你的脑海中，使你能够对自己的工作进行简明而全面的总结，而不至于忽略任何重要的内容。但是，不同期刊对摘要的撰写要求有所不同，所以应参照目标期刊的投稿指南，了解其具体要求。尽管期刊要求不同，但依然存在一些普遍应遵守的惯例。应注意对字数的限制。通常来讲，摘要的字数限制平均为250个词，但许多期刊要求更短些，如 Nature 对摘要的篇幅限制为150个字，而许多其他期刊，例如 Biomed Central， 允许摘要篇幅稍长一些。这就解释了为什么应在写文章之前确定目标期刊。应避免使用过于专业术语，尽量使摘要易懂，具有可读性。通常，摘要因受篇幅所限，不可能对专业术语进行定义和解释。但是如果术语使用无法避免，应在首次提到时用简单的措辞对之予以定义。不同目标期刊的专业取决于期刊的读者情况，所以一定要考虑目标读者，除非该期刊专门针对特定研究人员。如同专业术语一样，应尽量不使用缩略语，其可用性也取决于不同的目标期刊。例如，大多数期刊接受 HIV 的使用，相比之下 ，RT-PCR 对分子生物学技术的期刊是可以接受的。但大多数期刊要求在首次使用时给出完整拼写 reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction 逆转录聚合酶链反应。许多期刊在网页上列出可使用的缩略语，摘要中已给出全称的缩略语，在正文中首次使用时也应给出全称。绝大多数期刊不允许引用文献，所以除非你要投稿的期刊允许这样做，否则不应在摘要中引用文献。